everybody. Welcome to a brand new edition of Kick-Ons with the number one voice in footy and the number one tipster in footy at the moment, Josh Jenkins. Kane Corns. Kane-o, great to see you.
Good to see you, Richo. Looking sharp as well.
Oh, no doubting that.
Done something to your face? Or?
Mate, I'm looking fresh as a daisy.
Richo
like
did his own makeup, and I think he did a very good job.
Oh, thank you. Hello, mate.
Extra shiny up top. I like it.
I like
Fantastic. As are we with our tipping at the moment, Richo.
Certainly are. Let's give him his flowers.
Thank you.
Because he deserves it.
Now, I'm not one to pump up my own tyres.
Shut up.
Richo,
Yes, you are.
I'm in unbelievable form. Just a little same gamer, just to wet the whistle
48
a little
copies.
bit. And then for the 5th straight week in a row, I'm in control of the footy trip. Now, just to put that into perspective, no one has done it more than 2 weeks in a row.
That's right.
I'm going 5 weeks in a row, so I will not be pumping up my own tyres, but I'm in good form.
You are going at 352%
Wow.
in the last 5 weeks. That's the sort of research I do.
Thank you.
But also in your area, back in your old former sport, you're going well.
Yeah, the harness race.
Thank you.
Oh, he's got the big deep here.
They call me Josh Vin Knight Jenkins. So into Dominion, the biggest race, which is effectively the Melbourne Cup.
Look at you in the chariots.
Place. 4 of the 5 of those won as well. So if you had have gotten involved there, you would have got some cash. So no success on the footy front. So I had to just really, as you said, dive into the trots, believe it or not.
Well, we'll get back to we'll get maybe another chariots tip from you as well, because over and under, our man is absolutely
Bad
schooling
week.
you,
Should
JJ.
we just rub some salt into the wound? Oh, we're at it. Look, that's a big week for me.
That's a lot of ticks.
Lockie knew I was flat about. Jordan Dawson. But 21 out of 28 is good going, JJ.
It is good going.
Just drop behind. We'll do ours for this week as well. Only one difference, so you're not going to be able to get me this week.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I sent mine through around
Covertly.
via private email, thinking that it might be of advantage. I was worried that the great man had been sort of just copying mine a little bit.
Oh.
But no, he's taken the lead. Still hasn't got 6 out of 6 in one given week,
Right.
which is a big feat in itself. But he's going quite nicely.
You can follow us, of course, on the feed, Kick-Ons. You can follow JJ. I think 16,000 people are doing that.
16.8.
Thank you. I think 10,000 people are
10.2.
following you and 11,000 following some other dribbler who's gone unbelievably quickly.
Roughies.
Shush, don't even want to talk about it. Let's go to Friday night and the Battle of the Bridge or the Sydney Derby. GWS versus Sydney should be a beauty.
So you don't need 2 TVs, 2 Friday night games, the Western Bulldogs and Essendon, who cares? Western Bulldogs will win that by 10 goals, but this is the game. This is a top 8 shaper. Sydney in really good form with just a slight sniff, JJ, of making the 8, if they win all 5.
No.
Slight sniff.
Nah, well, I just can't see them doing the job. I can't see them winning this game for a start.
Why not?
And I believe they've got Brisbane at the Gabba in their run home as well.
Correct.
So I can't see them running the table. They're still not back to what they were last year in their grand final run. They're going well. Errol Goulden's role's fascinating to me. They're using him ahead of the ball versus on the wing and inside mid. GWS are just going beautifully. They are giving up a lot of inside 50s, and that's what people are telling us is their weakness.
57 on average.
But when you are so strong and so staunch behind the ball, in a roundabout way, it feels like a bit of rope-a-dope. They're happy to defend so many because they're so strong behind the ball.
What about Finn Callaghan? This guy is elite. I must admit, I think there was a lot of people that went, what's the big money offer for him? Now I get it.
I reckon he's the best 1-2 person in the game. So give it and get it back. Boomer Harvey's the best I've ever seen. He turned 1 into 5. Boomer Harvey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But
Usually with you chasing him.
Exactly right. This guy can give and then get better than anyone. And in terms of midfield duos, him and Tom Green, who I think will be the next captain of the Giants very shortly, is there any better? Anderson and Rao? Brayshaw and Sarong?
I think for the different beasts that they are, that's why they're so spectacular.
Yep.
Green is there beneath Briggs's feet, like first possession. I think he's borderline impossible to tag because of that fact. He's just going to stand there, and even if he's got a body on him, he can still grab it and feed it out to Callaghan. He's not Chris Judd, but the way he can explode from contest, he's the most like Judd in that sense. The way he can just run away from contest, and even when he's running at full speed, Callaghan, he's got great touch by foot. Jordan's got to go to Callaghan.
Yep.
Has to, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think Green, they'll do row bottom inside and they'll put the numbers. So here's the James Jordan's disposals conceded, JJ, which you wanted to have a look at.
That is outstanding, isn't it?
I mean, he's pretty tough to get a kick on.
Now, I know you can't give us much on this, and I text the traders during the week. How come he's not being talked about on the bench in the All-Australian team? Because
says he's not being talked about.
well, have you heard anyone talk about him?
Not one person has mentioned him as a
So
potential
our traders
All-Australian.
put him up $26.
This is a revelation this morning.
Well, how come he's not? Because that graphic is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And so a lot of those players who spent 50, 60, 70, 80 minutes on them, and they've had 10 touches, 12 touches. These guys are getting 30 and kicking a goal or two every single week. He has stopped every single player that he has played on this year.
So you're saying bet? $26?
Well, I mean, we're going to need a bit more of a groundswell of momentum behind him.
Well, I know someone. I can introduce you to someone who's
Why bother?
involved.
He's going to give us nothing. But what will happen is if there is a groundswell of momentum, he'll be pushing up for the tagger. So in terms of whether we value the role, on the interchange, the fourth spot on the interchange bench, I'll tell you what, he deserves to be there.
Any comment?
No comment on this one, but I'm interested in Isaac Heaney as well from the opposition. Is he the hottest player in football right now, Isaac Heaney, and what the Giants do with him will be pretty important. He's as playing as well as any person.
Just about the perfect game, wasn't it, last week?
Perfect.
5 goals,
13
13
clearances, which I was unbelievable. Now, they paid
Record-breaking.
him no respect whatsoever. It was a bit of Parker, it was a bit of Power. They just did
So do the Giants
job.
go away from, because they've dropped the tag.
They won't
Bedford
tag
hasn't
him.
tagged for a long time.
He's too small for it.
Bedford went to him in the earlier matchup this year, and Heaney got forward on him and got a little pocket of space, and you could see him just saying, just kick it in my area.
Yeah.
I'm too big for Bedford. So it will be interesting because, I'm sort of not for or against tagging. When teams don't tag, like last weekend with Collingwood, and Caleb Sarong's the best player or second best player in the ground, you think to yourself, why wouldn't you
Especially
tag
after
when
you called him the most taggable player in the league.
and he goes and dominates the game when you know you can sit on someone. So if the Giants and Sydney play a close game and Isaac Heaney has 25 and kicks 3 and is a difference in the game, you've got to go back to your coaches meeting and say to ourselves, why didn't we tag him?
Yeah, and that's fair enough. Hey, what about the Q clash? So
Big one.
we're talking Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. or something, People First Stadium.
Sunshine.
Don't like each other. Do not like each other.
No, they don't.
I like this rivalry.
It's not a rivalry yet.
No, it is.
What do you mean it's not a rivalry
The
yet?
Suns haven't held up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, that's pretty
They've
fair.
been bullied by the big, powerful Brisbane Lions, including earlier this season. This was a beatdown. So this was Sunday night, standalone game, public holiday in Queensland the next day. And the Lions, who many were saying, their win-loss record's good, they're not going that well. They said, not today. Matt Rowe's worst game for the season.
Yeah,
They pushed them around.
And I was doing the Gold Coast Adelaide game live last week, and they were as poor as you've ever seen.
Yeah.
So the test of a good side is how you respond, and JJ's big on the response game. I think there'll be a response, and there needs to be. They'll get some players back, but they were so ordinary. Speaking of bullied, Adelaide broke about 20 tackles, and they weren't able to physically stand up in a finals-like game. So really important response. Hugh McCluggage is fascinating as well for
he's a
Brisbane.
good player.
So when you play against Gold Coast, speaking of tags, that they will not tag. That's just not in their system. That's not in their DNA. Tuke Miller's not even there. He's the only one that can do it. So this guy looms large. Him and Lachie Neale, I think, if you're looking at their disposal number, or if you want to bet on their kicks, I like Hugh McCluggage for 16 plus kicks just because.
What about this one?
No one will go near him.
Unbelievable.
They'll back their own system in, Anderson and Rao versus Neale and Ashcroft and McCluggage and others for Brisbane. So it could be a big disposal game.
Oh, okay. So what are we saying is 29 plus? Would we get that flamboyant?
Yeah.
Oh, the ladder.
It's a ladder job.
Staking.
I reckon you've got to stake it correctly
Thank
so that
you.
you ensure that you get a profit. But he's one. Look, whether he goes north of 30 plus, I'm not sure.
He doesn't do that often.
No, he doesn't. He's not a guy that goes 35 plus very often like a Tom Green might. But certainly high 20s, he's an absolute play because he's the one that he is such a great runner. He can get back and get the footy in D50, and he can run through and get the 1-2s as well. So he's a sensational player.
And Lachie Neale, just quickly on his markets there, possessions.
I had a look at that. He's not getting as much footy as he did previously because Ashcroft's taken some minutes off him and others have got so many options there. But around the 27, I think is where he might land this week.
You've got Ben King on your radar.
Yeah, well, he's a bit of a worry. Now, there have been people talking about him and whether he can stand up in finals. Now, let's give him a chance in a final to stand up before we say he can't. But he's a long way down the list of the key forwards when it comes to player ratings. Now, he's got as much talent, I think, as most of those guys. but there's too much of a gap between when he's playing well and when he's leading up at the footy. And the reason I prefer Ben over Max is because he's a little bit more agile and he can lead up and hit the footy. But his gap between when he's not involved in the game is too far.
I think they've got to get him up the ground a little bit more. Get him involved. You know, you feel good when you're touching the footy early. Even like Sam Darcy's getting up the ground, Norton for the Western Bulldogs and others. Curnow, get up the ground, get involved early, touch the footy, feel the Sharon, and then get back. He's a 7 possession forward, so I think you'd love to see him get a bit more of the footy. But he's a goal kicking machine.
Yeah,
like, he's kicked as many goals as anyone in the last 3 years. Like he can kick goals. Don't worry about that. So 3 plus 260, he'll get a good opponent. But I think he bounces back this week.
It wouldn't be the worst idea to throw him in the ruck for 5 minutes early in the first quarter.
Just to get him involved.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be the backup ruckman.
Yep.
Just to don't ask him to take a centre bounce because he wouldn't have practiced it and he'd probably get himself hurt. But I think that's why they continue to play Walter because King he's either dominating games or he's just nowhere in the game, and he's not a physical key forward, whereas Walter likes to crash and bash. So they're sort of hamstrung a little bit having to play those 3 key forwards.
Who have you got on notice?
Well, a couple of forwards, one big, one small, and I thought Cameron and Hipwood for the Lions were really ordinary against the Western Bulldogs, and it's been a bit of a theme.
Tackled my man Charlie a few times.
A couple of times this year. I'm not loving his body language at all. I'm not loving his second efforts. I think he falls over too often. Here's the last time these two teams
looks
met.
pretty good to me.
He looks as good as anyone when he's doing this. Don't worry about that. Like, he is as watchable a player as there is in the game. But far too often he goes missing and he's making errors, as I said, falling over, poor body language, one efforts, defensively not as good as he should be. He could be an elite defensive small forward, but he's not at that level. And then Hipwood's probably just what he is, right? Like he'll have the odd good game every 5 weeks, and then for the most part he's unsighted. But I think he's got to be a bit more physical in the game and insert himself more often than he does.
He'll respond. I'm taking 2+.
And have more involvement. So like he can do that. His accuracy is an issue as well. So look, premiership player, no worries, stood up in the grand final. But if Brisbane are going to go back there and they're going to make a run for it late in the season, these two, I think, need to improve their output and their body language and their physicality.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Rising
that's
star, we've got a new favourite. You've got someone that you're keen to talk about?
Yeah, we have. This has been a fascination, this award and this market for me. I've been following it all season long. I saw Levi Ashcroft's first pre-season game, or his only pre-season game against Adelaide. I think he had 25 disposals. Now, Curtin's the new favourite. Now, It's hard to pump up one without sort of knocking the other. I can't really understand how Curtin
Recency
has
bias.
Well, thank you. But Curtin's had 3 or 4 games where he's been one of the best players on the ground. He's got some coaches' votes. Levi Ashcroft hasn't got any. But I think the merit of the award should be what you're able to do consistently over your first season. So that's why I think Levi Ashcroft deserves to be the rising star favourite. However, this guy's best there's no doubt this guy is the guy you want long term. But I think Levi Ashcroft has been the most consistent player.
But that's
all
not the
year.
award. It's not what you do in your first season. It's just once you qualify.
I accept that. Yep.
So this is his second season, which does absolutely give him some advantage. And there's merit in saying, well, this award just should be for a first-year player.
Should be the rookie of the year.
Should be. It should be. But the AFL would say, well, we might not have enough to qualify every week in that category. So that's why they leave it open to players under 10 games in a certain age at the start of the year, because they want to announce one every week. And if they just make it first year players, they may not have one every week.
Yeah,
and that's reasonable. I guess I probably misspoke a little bit. My point is, across the season, I think you like to see that excellence, because I think that's the hardest thing for a young player, is to be able to front up every week at AFL level and play well. And I think that's what Levi Ashcroft has been able to do. There were times earlier in the year we were sitting here talking about Curtin as the 4th forward in Adelaide's forward line, and he's the one who will have to go out. Now, credit to him, he's gone to the wing and he looks like a difference maker. And if he finishes as strong as he's been over the past few weeks, it'll be hard to turn him down. But I think over the year, it's been Ashcroft.
Hey, our new markets are fantastic. We're going to do a multi. We're going to use the number 2 Bulldog player of all time in the Bont. So pick a category.
Are they your rankings?
Pick a category. That's the Bulldogs rankings.
Oh, are they?
They announce it during the week. So who's gone with 2+?
I've gone with 2 goals. So I think the Bont's going to spend a bit more time. They're going to win big against Essendon, and he's a goal-kicking mid.
I've gone for 14 kicks.
Yeah, I was happy to take the kicks because he's a delightful field kick. I took 12 handballs.
Okay.
He's pretty creative around the footy. I think he'll have his way with Essendon, the way he did against Richmond when I think he had 36 and 3 a few weeks ago. Yeah.
So put them in a multi. Follow us on the feed. Hey, shot clock. We're going to put 30 seconds on the clock. Quick questions. Do West Coast need a priority pick?
Oh, they need one, but I don't think they should get one.
I'd give them one. Otherwise, if we say...
You would give them one?
Well, how long do we want them to languish for? Now, you say, well, they haven't been down as long as North Melbourne, but don't we know they're going to be down again next year? So then, at the end of next year, we have the same discussion.
What about the Saints? What about the Saints sitting there going, well, then that pushes us back in the draft. We need as much.
Yeah, but
it's been a long time. They want a premiership in 2018.
Pick doesn't have to be pick 5. Yeah. It can be pick 20 or the end of the first round or the start of the second round. It can be assistance.
Okay, will the showdown get ugly for Port and for Ken? What do you think?
I think it probably should. Now, Port, and we know in showdowns that the two teams get up and about.
What are your face?
So this is going to get real ugly.
The reality is, if Adelaide can match last week's intensity or even come close to matching last week's intensity, bloodbath.
This is a great position for Adelaide to be in. They hate each other. Sink the boots in like you wouldn't believe and go big, go large, spoil anything for
percentage booster.
Yeah, big percentage booster. So I think it's 10 goals plus.
Surely it's called the Corns Cup. In great respect to
What,
Graham
any
as the
love
coach.
for Adelaide, or
it's got to be.
Oh, he was the coach of Adelaide.
That's right,
Of course, that's why I'm calling it the Corns Cup, you dribbler. Who kicks more, Aaron Norton or Sam Darcy?
Sam Darcy.
I wonder.
Sam Darcy. You see Aaron Norton
He's in good form at the moment.
kicking more than Sam lately.
Go back and watch the last quarter where he's dropping the ball in the goal square, where he's kicking it directly to the opposition, where he's trying to snap from 30 metres out and it goes that way. 20 metres. It will never be an A-grader. Aaron Norton, and Sam Darcy is already an A-grader.
Margin, Pies, Tigers.
It depends what type of mood the Pies are in.
Margin, Pies, Tigers.
30 points. I think Richmond are going quite nicely. At the MCG, big crowd, they'll be up and about.
Richmond's midfield's experienced, and they're actually in good form. Hopper, Taranto, Nankervis and Prestia. So that's the pillars that they've got there
Can
that
you
can
say
actually...
that again, Taranto?
They're going pretty well.
Right.
He's going
and they're
beautifully.
experienced and they're hardened. So that's one area they should be able to
Well, what
match
do you
Collingwood.
think,
But
Guru?
around the ground,
60 plus, mate.
Yeah,
Not a
I
chance.
think it's
60 plus, hot pies, mate.
He's
They
saying
will
30.
bounce back.
I'm saying
Not a
40. You're
chance.
saying 60.
Right, 60 plus. What about Jezza? So Jezza against North Melbourne, a chance
Feast.
to have a little feast.
This is a feast. He fills up, so equal most disposals of all opponents that he comes up against. The goals speak for themselves. It just comes down to how invested he is in kicking a big bag. I think he's $1.10 for the Coleman, so he's got that wrapped up already. But there's 7 or 8 on offer if he wants them. And we saw Mark Blitzarf's. Mark's at 20 metres out in front. Handballs it to Jezza so that he gets another goal. So if he wants 7 or 8, absolutely.
5 plus for me. He's going to get Toby Pink or some ordinary defender from North Melbourne.
Whack.
What?
Shots fired. A quick break. You're watching Kick-Ons. Over and under next. Hope you're enjoying Kick-Ons. We're going to play some overs and unders, which is a game that you guys have been totally dominating. Advantage for Volkane-o at the moment. Zach Merritt, let's put him on the radar. So it's 28.5.
Yeah, well, the Western Bulldogs will allow him a lot of freedom, I think. So I'm going to go over at 28.5. He's spending more time in the midfield, knows how to rack him up. So I think he goes 30 plus.
Agree. Anchor for your same game multis.
Really? Okay,
Yep.
I might go against you on that one,
Oh,
with due
really?
respect. Not that I'm involved. What about Tom Green?
Well, this was the hardest one for me, Tom Green. So it's a big number. He's got to get to 30. I went under. He often hovers around 30, 31. Doesn't often go high 30. So I just think this week in a tight game, I'm going to go under.
I had the attention going elsewhere. Now, he'll probably go head-to-head with Rowbottom, which might stifle him a little bit. But Turbo Tommy is my man, one of my top 5 favourite players in the game. So, of course, I'm going over.
Okay, Will Ashcroft?
Yeah, he's a guy...
Difficult.
I'm happy to take him on. He starts almost every game on the bench. And he starts a lot of quarters. He does start the 4th quarter on the ground, but he starts most quarters on the bench. And occasionally you can get stuck on the bench. The ball's on the other side of the ground. All of those intangibles are against the player, are for the under, so I'll take the under.
I went under as well. The thing that makes me nervous is, speaking of the 1-2, he loves a 1-2.
Doesn't he?
Like, just pop it up with a little bit of extra air, give it to and so he can get it back. And he loves just a little quick kick.
Little dinky.
Off the ground. He gets some... Look, good player, Norton Miller. He gets some rubbish disposals. Now, if you're punting on him, you love that. But that's the only thing that makes me nervous. But I'm with JJ. I've gone under.
What about Baz Lenker, Bailey Smith?
Over.
Bounce back.
Over.
Yeah,
bounce back game.
It's a big number.
Yeah, but he was doing that regularly. He was mid-30s earlier on in the year. Poor opposition. Won't get tagged. And should have a field day.
Yeah, agree.
That's the one I'm most confident in.
Yeah, he should really run right against North. They'll give him his opportunities. And he's had a bit of a disjointed month or so. He's been away from the game a little bit, but I reckon we need to see the best version of him again leading into finals.
So the Pies versus Richmond. So let's put the Dacos boys up. We'll go with Josh first. 29.5's the line.
Yeah, happy to go over this because of the kickouts, and I'm waiting for them to explore the midfield stuff as well. Again, we know that's 16 disposals a few weeks ago in the midfield. So if he gets some midfield minutes against Richmond, I think they can experiment. No, I think he gets to 30. Big number though.
We talked about the teammates who love to give the ball to each other. This will be a perfect game for it. Richmond don't put a lot of time into the opposition because they're trying to build their own game style and game plan. He'll go big.
Okay, Nicholas, what
He'll
about
go
the
big
brother?
too. He'll go bigger.
Well, what did he have, 43 last week?
Yeah, so that's 32 he's got to get to. He wants the 3 Brownlow votes, I reckon.
That looks easy, doesn't it?
It could be 3/4 time.
The only thing that I thought is Ross went to Harley Reid in the second half last week.
Ross will not be able to run with him.
And I don't think Ross will be able to run with him, so I went over. Pretty confident in that as well.
Well, let's line them all up because you guys are singing from the same hymn book this week.
One different.
So it all comes down to Tom Green.
It all comes down to my man, Turbo Tommy.
$37 versus $35.88.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've got a bit more value as always.
I need to get back in the swing of things. I need another. So first, I think how long have we been? 4th week, I reckon we've done this.
Yeah.
First losing set was from me last week. So every other set of over and unders has been a winning set from us. So I need to bounce back.
I see something on the run sheet I'm scared to even mention. It's called ChatGPT. Why have you put this on the run?
Well,
strange, isn't it?
Well, it is a little bit strange. So I'm very much unfamiliar with ChatGPT.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're about to become more familiar.
Okay.
I thought I'd type in between Jason Richardson, Josh Jenkins and Kane Corns, who was the superior athlete, and ChatGPT spat back a whole, bit of this, a bit of that. And finally, it was able to give us the podium.
Really? What is
that? In first place,
this is wrong.
Was Jason Richardson. So I'll read out what ChatGPT said about you. The purest athlete.
There we go.
National level sprinter.
That's what we're talking about.
Forgot to mention Australia had ranked 88th in running. Josh Jenkins second. Rare blend of size and agility. Cross-trained. Don't know what that means. Kane Corns in third. Incredible endurance and longevity, but less explosive. Now, Kane, I'm with you, right? Second and third, disgraceful. He couldn't even handle a ball.
You're joking, mate.
Involved. We had to handball and tackle and chase.
He just needs a pair of runners.
Mate, precocious talent.
Stood there and looked at 100 metres away and just ran.
Precocious talent. I had to decide which one I was going to concentrate on. It's a cavalcade of stars.
Doesn't work.
Footy Trip, we're going to Vegas, baby, on the back of you.
Well, we are. We're going there again. Lockie Neal, all the eggs in the Neal basket this week. 28 disposals against Gold Coast who don't tag. There it is, 210. Good odds.
Mate,
good odds.
Finally getting around my Lions.
You are brilliant. What about our weekend multi? Let's everyone throw a leg up.
Yes, I'm going with Toby Green, 14 plus disposals and 2 plus goals. I think he'll go big against the Sydney Swans.
Touched on him, but Hugh McCluggage, 16 plus kicks at 218.
Okay, I love it. And Josh Tracy to kick 3, if you don't mind.
Hasn't been kicking many.
He didn't kick many last week. He is due.
Yep.
Follow us on the feed. Hey, have a great weekend of footy. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Thank you for watching and kick-ons each and every week.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.